So good evening, good evening. I am Honky and welcome to my world. We have a confession. Okay, let's get right to it. We are almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Hump day, half of the week. Okay. Once again, today we went to 1005.98 degrees. It was melting territory. I hope you stay hydrated. All right. The confession is entitled I set off the smoke alarm on a commercial plane Let's try it again. I am tired, y'all. Here we go. Me. Okay. I set off the smoke alarm on a commercial plane by vaping. Ugh, and she a female too? I will understand this type of behavior from a man, but she's 24, female. I need to get this off my chest because it has been years and I still feel awful about it. In 2021, I was flying from Cincinnati to Palm Springs with my family. I attended high school during the Great Jewel Epidemic. Oh, okay. The thing. Got influenced and was still desperately clinging to nicotine as a young adult. My fucking dumbass had no idea there was a smoke detector on the ceiling in the plane bathroom. So I literally just blew a fat cloud right into it. Cue an ear-deafening loud ring. An ear-deafening loud ring. And I immediately realized I'd have fucked up big time. I walked out of the bathroom, and to my deserved horror, all 70 to 100 people had twisted their necks to look back at me. As they should. I still have no idea how I got away with it. Let's just say protection of complexion. Because technically the girl should have been banned from flying on that airline. It is actually, and fined. It is actually an FAA law that you cannot smoke on laboratories or anywhere in the plane. And once you land, they fine you, and the airline bans you. So you can never fly that airline again. But I'm assuming, as she stated, she's 24, female, and she has protection of complexion. We know, had this been a melanated girl, SWAT would have been at the gate waiting for her. I continue. I still have no idea how I got away with it. I think it was just lucky. I was just lucky. The flight attendants totally knew what was up. For the rest of the flight, they kept coming over to my seat and asking what happened. And I told them I had no idea. And while I'm sure they knew exactly what had happened, nothing came from it. Except for my mom having a mental breakdown and telling the ex-convict next to her my life story for the remainder of the flight. Now, how does she know that the person sitting next to the mama was an ex-convict? For the looks of it, you're the one committing the crimes up at 35,000 feet. The reason it bothers me so much, other than it being objectively wrong and against the law. Oh, I'm glad she knows that it was against the law. It's because I bet at least one person thought they were going to die for a second. Just wanted to put this into the void for some mental closure. Somebody says the flight attendants totally knew. They just decided not to screw up your life and to save themselves the hassle. Somebody else says, My buddy did this in 2018. I was with him and got a lifetime ban from the now defunct WOW Airlines as a result. I told you. I absolutely told you. Somebody else says, you're lucky you didn't end up in the no-fly list. Somebody says, it was always the user who did the... Okay, that was a stupid comment. Guys who need their nick fixed and get a nicotine patch if you have a long flight. Obviously... There's always one in the crowd that wants to go against policy and law, federal law, right? That you can't, I mean, that speaks value, that you can't like not have a cigarette for the duration of your flight. Just have it right before you go and go to the flight and then right after you land. It's that simple. Side note, I remember back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, back in the day when I used to fly from Puerto Rico to DR for the summers with my grandmother, planes actually had a smoking section. Yes. It was usually towards the back rows. And the crazy thing is that, you know, JetBlue was the airline that did the whole leather seats in the whole plane. Back in the day, it was cloth seats. And so if you wanted to smoke, you could purchase a ticket in the smoker section of a plane, which will be in the back, and those seats were still cloth. And you know, once you got to the proper altitude, the light will go on, and all these people will start lighting up their cigarettes back there, smoking. There also used to be phones, like whole headset phones in the back of every seat, and you will pick up the phone, run your credit card, or pick up the phone and do a collect call and call from there. I know, because my grandmother used to call to let them know we're in the air, we should be landing at X time, come pick us up. And so once everybody was done having their cigarettes in the back aisles and shit like that, like it would be like maybe like the last 5 rows would be smoking, right? But then, you know, the row before the 5th row, like there's no protection. Like it was like, okay, they didn't have like fans or anything. But the flight attendants, I remember them walking around with spray, deodorizing spray, after the smoker's break was done, and they would just spray through the whole back. And yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing. I remember that. I'm so glad though that flights are now non-smoking, because as an asthmatic, I do not need to be nowhere near that. And then it's like, yeah, I had like open flames and cigarette, and they had like the little to put your cigarettes out in on the seats. On the seats, you just open up a little metal thing, and it will be just, and you just pour turn off your cigarette in there. But just to like be doing that in a fucking plane where there's like oxygen equipment and fucking fuel tanks, no, that was diabolical. It was a different beast back then. Anyway, I want to thank you for coming through. I do this every night. Every night I do this. That was a simple, humble confession from a Karen up in at 35,000 feet. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm running out of steam. Weekend is almost here. Please join me tomorrow for another confession. Have a good day. Stay hydrated if it goes really hot. And don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps us out as content creators. Oh, my husband, the Incredible Hulk, says, so cigarettes and then poison spray. Absolutely. On top of fucking fuel tanks and oxygen mask above you and the whole 9. Yup, that's how it was. That's exactly how it was. All right. Hit that like button, please. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.